but there are definitely signs that negotiations will increase. The financial flows are being cut off quite rapidly,
Mm,
and particularly with restrictions on the U.S. trade in oil coming into effect over the coming months. And that's something that might continue to undermine some support from the military. But again, this is a situation where things can move very quickly, but they also can linger on for a period of time. What's clear to
mm,
me is that that already some of the flows from the energy sector are really drying up, and that's going to
right.
make this lifeline disappear.
And it does appear as though the U.S. is looking at ways to continue that trend, especially by helping Citgo change the board there and several other steps. But you talk about the military support for Maduro. I mean, that is often cited as the one key thing keeping him in his position. But what about the international support coming from Russia and China?
Mhm.
Does that really need to change in order to see a leadership change in the country?
I think continued support, particularly from Russia. China's been trying, if anything, to stay a bit neutral. Staying neutral, of course, in this period effectively is support of the regime. And in that, it's a test of the Chinese non-interventionist policy, which is something to watch not only for Venezuela and beyond. But I think ultimately what's going to be quite important out of that support is not only what happens in the next few days and weeks and months, but
Mm,
what sort of political change, what sort of societal opportunities there are in Venezuela. If you continue, there is a scenario where the Maduro regime clings on, where there might be competing governments, a shadow government and an acting government, and a real legal mess, if I can put it that way,
right.
around who has control of assets. Some energy analysts I've spoken to in the last week even raised the possibility that Venezuela, like Libya a few years ago, might even try to send two energy ministers to the next OPEC ministerial. Now, that's several months off in May, and so there's a lot that can happen between then. But there are quite a wide range of scenarios. What seems
Mm,
clear to me is that Venezuelan oil output, which was already trending downwards because of mismanagement and the like, is likely to continue to fall.
yeah.
Sanctions are making that worse and more complicated. But this is something where decisions made today are going to be quite important for the outlook over the next few years in Venezuela.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.